What's going on, YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, and I am here with Andre. He just went X1 after 7 rounds of a Remote Duel Regional, ended up taking 4th place. What did you play?
Pure Swordsoul.
All right, let's go ahead and just, without further ado, jump into the deck profile if you want to go ahead and start showing us the cards.
So, the most important card of the deck, 3 copy of Ecclesia, good for going first and second. Additional copy of the best starter in the game, Moes. These are so crazy. As long as you see them with any Swordsoul, you've got more than full combo. It's a +1 at the same time as making you additional advantage whenever you need to. This is more controversial. I played 3 copy of Swordsoul of Taya. A lot of people result into cutting it to 2, but for Pure, you need as many names as you can and play it as much as you can. 3 copy of Lungen. This card makes Baron. That's all what it says. Effect, I make Baron. That's what it does. That's all the Swordsoul monsters I play. The next thing I have is hand trap lineups. I played 3 copy of Effect Veilers. These are just good hand traps for this format. 3 copy of Ash Blossoms. Additional good hand traps. I like the feat, so maybe. 2 copy of Nibiru, the Primal Being. This comes up a lot as target and at the same time as it hits your opponent in turn 1 by surprise. A lot of people don't main it, and I do think maining it is the way to go for me. And that's all the monsters I have. The next thing I have is spells. I played 3 copy of Emergence, Rhoda for the deck, you need it. 2 copy of Summit. I don't want to cut it to 1 because 2 is good in the grind game, and even at the start you can discard something and reborn it back easily as extenders. 3 copy of Pot of Desires. This is why I don't want to cut this to 1, because I don't really want to banish it. It's Pot of Greed on crack. It's a non-ban Pot of Greed, and it generates you a lot of advantage. And this is what I think makes me win most of my duels, because of the card advantage I generate. 3 copy of Crossout Designator to out most of the common cards in the format, like pots, most of the cards, like all the hand traps that I'm running. And after that, I also run 1 copy of Call by the Grave to stop most hand traps and even as disruptions. Now blowout cards, I run 1 copy of Dark Ruler, 1 copy of Droplet. I'm running 1 of each to advance, with Crossout, and also pretty much counts as 2 of the same card. They do close to the same job, it's just a little bit different in different scenarios. And 2 more spells, they're both extenders to play after you get hand trapped. 1 copy of Gold Sarcophagus to banish Blackout to summon a token, and 1 instant fusion. Yeah, this card summons you the Magic-y Beast, allows you to keep extend even after getting impermed. 2 copy of Blackout. It's just a really, really good card. It gets you token, it gets you pops. And then last card in the main deck, 3 copy of Infinite Impermanence, being another good hand trap for the format.
Was that 40 cards or?
41.
41? Okay.
Yes.
Let's see the extra deck.
So, the extra deck, we're gonna start out with 2 copy of Chi-Shout, pretty standard. Everyone plays 2 copy of it. 1 copy of Baxia. I don't think I need more than 1, because I rarely go into additional than that. And this is the Baxia number 2, the negate plus bounce, because Nibiru is a thing, it is a rock, and I've hit it multiple times. So it's a negate where when you know your opponent have blowout cards like Tactics, you make this, and your opponent have to think to play around it more than anything. And it can also bait out a lot of disruptions by activating its effect, making your opponent, decide on if they want to lose it automatically or just risk it for the biscuit. And then play 1 copy of Draco Berserker, 1 copy of Crimson Blader. I rarely made this. I think this is a cuttable card, but a lot of people do think this card is really, really good. It's good in Swordsoul mirrors, stuff like that, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Berserker is just a generically good card. It outs a lot of problems. It runs over pretty much everything. Okay, and then that's all the level 8s I run, and then I run 1 copy of Baron de Fleur because it can recycle. I play 1 copy of Ruddy Rose, but if I have the chance, I would cut it for another Baron because I never get to use it, and a lot of times people say you can restore it, but it's never coming back. Everybody knows that. Opponents are killing this thing. And then 1 copy of Chang'e. This card is super good. It outs DPE for living. Your opponent DPE, sure, you make this, banish it from the graveyard, your opponent can't do things about it. And you can also banish their Celestial during their turn to, prevent them from doing any additional play. And then that's all the synchros I run. The next thing I have are XEs. I play 1 copy of Babushka. It's just a good generic rank 4 that allows me to shut up my opponent for a turn for me to keep playing. And one Zeus. Zeus is just a generic card where you can overlay after Babushka during your turn. So you put it in defense, force your opponent to play differently, and then during your turn, attack, make Zeus, and then you send the entire thing to the graveyard. And then I play the Dragublian package, 97, 38, and 100. People would cut this, but I do think Hope Harbinger is a pretty good card, and it does help you protect your other monsters if you want to. And that's one last card in the extra deck, the Magic Beast Fusion monster. You have to play this for instant fusion, just as additional targets.
Alright, and then let's see what your side deck is as well.
My side deck is just as weird as my main deck. I played 2 copies of Drone, yes, 2 copies for some reason. And I played 2 copies of Lancias. These are just generic good hand traps I have because I have got a lot of draw power, so I don't have to C3, and most of the times you don't need them since of how many hand traps you play. 1 copy of Protos, just because it's searchable and you don't need multiple copies of it. 1 copy of Token Collector, cross out, everybody knows. Whenever they hit, Swordsoul is dead. 2 copy of Twin Twister, it's just to out Floodgates and additional stuff like that. 1 copy of Dark Ruler No More as the 3rd one, because I'm running 1 in the main and 1 droplet. This is pretty much the 3rd Dark Ruler in the deck. 1 copy of Harvey's Feather Duster, the best back row removal. This deck is scared of back row a lot. That's why I play a lot of back row removals, 3 evenly matched. This is just the best back row removal I can think of, and I would say it outs front row and back row. And then next thing we have is Red Reboot, another super broken card that deserves to be a 1. If I see this, I pretty much win. And then IO. That's the whole side deck.
Alright, so I'm a very firm believer that this deck is not really that good, but you've proven me wrong. You've top 8'd 2 different regionals now, took first at another event that I can't remember what it was. And I mean, your build is definitely not conventional, so you're clearly doing something right. Do you have any shoutouts or?
Not that I can think of as of right now.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for the deck profile. We're going to go ahead and try to record some games for you guys as well. So you know the deal. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and maybe consider backing me on Patreon because for just $1, you can support the channel in ways that I can never tell you how much I appreciate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Subscribe!